Greetings, good citizens of the cannabis community. Welcome to a Microdose of the Infused show. And we're doing something new, something special with you in mind, with the listeners to this program in mind today on this Microdose of the Infused show. It's a two-man show today. I'm Nick, and with me, as always, is producer extraordinaire, DJ Rags. Frank, how are you today?
I'm doing good, brother. How about yourself?
I'm doing real good, and thanks for doing this with me. This is a new bit of content where we go a lot of places. We visit dispensaries, we visit hotels, and we're gonna try to pass along our experience to the other members of the cannabis community. So, Frank, what we have today for our listeners, we have an honest review. Oh no, it's an honest review. Honest review. That's what we have today, guys. It's an honest review of a place where if you've been to Las Vegas, you've probably seen the billboards, you've seen the cabs, you've seen all the advertisements trying to get members of the cannabis community over to 2548 West Desert Inn Road, Suite 100 in Sin City. I'm talking about Planet 13, Frank, the cannabis dispensary of the stars. I don't know if it's of the stars, but it's a big one, right?
It absolutely is. It's a pretty impressive building.
Yeah.
You have been there before previously.
Yes, I have.
A couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my first time. So I was super excited and had to take advantage of being in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go. You got to experience this place, right? And at least once. Now, this is my second time, as Frank said. So we wanted to take you through a quick little trip, give you our experience. If you're going and you want to pick up some products, sesh later on your balcony, maybe Planet 13 is the place to go. I don't know. We're going to share our experience today. So, Frank, we're going to talk about customer reception area. Where you get in, where you have to check in, give your ID. We're going to talk about the physical space, which Frank already alluded to is pretty impressive. The product selection that you can expect to find at Planet 13, customer service, and your point of sale experience. So, Frank, when you get right to Planet 13, what was your experience like when in the customer reception area?
So when I walked into the customer reception area, I was met with two receptionists there that took our IDs to scan just to make sure we were over 21 of age. But they also did ask if this was our first time there. Yeah. Just to kind of give us a rundown of what to expect. And when you walk into a facility like that, you're hoping for a rundown because it is overwhelming. Yeah. And, every dispensary is different. They have different rules. So it was good to get that rundown from them. It
really was. I was really impressed by the customer reception area. I was impressed by the staff outside getting you in there. And the people checking you in were really, really nice, really polite, really helpful, trying to steer you in the right direction. As far as steering people in the right direction is concerned, Frank, I should bring this up. One question that is asked a lot in Las Vegas is, hey, can I walk to Planet 13 from the Strip? And the answer would be, hell no. I mean, you can, but you have to cross several highways. You'd be better off getting an Uber, getting in the car, right?
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's a VIP entrance, too. We came in on a nice Tesla.
Yeah, we came in a nice Tesla with our press passes displayed. All right, so we get through the customer reception part. As far as the physical space of that store is concerned, it's an experience, my man. I mean, you said it's a little overwhelming. Could you tell our listeners why?
Well, when you walk in there, you have a bunch of LED screens. It almost looks like a sports book at a casino. Yeah. With the amount of TV screens that they have there. And there's a lot of people. I mean, when we walked in there, it was kind of late evening, and I would guess there was over 100 customers walking around that floor. Yeah, that's a nice little estimate. At least 100 people walking around that floor. It's a busy space. It is an impressive space as far as the way it looks. It is a little overwhelming. I felt like I was in line at Universal Studios or Disney. It didn't feel like a dispensary to me. So right. That's an interesting area there. It's pretty cool, but it's not a typical dispensary by any stretch of the imagination. Right. I mean, we were met with one person when we walked in the kind of turnstiles there to give our phone number, I guess, to get set up in the queue. Now, Nick, did you get a text right away saying like an approximate wait or your position in the queue?
I got a text right away, so that's a great thing to bring up to our listeners. I got a text right away that said we were in a queue. Welcome to Planet 13. We're in a queue. And they'd be following up. Now, I didn't get a follow-up text after that. So I should tell our listeners, you have to kind of, you do kind of fend for yourself at that point. They welcome you, they take your number, and then it's up to you to find the screens around that retail space that have the last 4 digits of your phone number and your initials on there. And it's not displayed everywhere. So it was a little confusing. And I have to say, you're waiting for a place in line. You're waiting for a bud tender, right? It was a pretty long wait. I think it was a little too long based on the amount of registers there, the amount of staff there, and the amount of people that were waiting.
Right. It looked like it was half-staffed at that current period. So we waited probably about 30 minutes, which gave us, enough time to check out the products that they had in their, long display cases. Mm-hmm. But just going to products, if I may,
please.
I really wasn't excited about their product offering.
I wasn't either.
I was expecting tons and tons of flower strains, concentrates, edible brands.
Yeah.
And what you're met with is like 4 rows, right, of the different delivery methods.
Mm-hmm.
That's copied on the other side of the room as well. So you would think it was a different products, but they're the same.
Yeah, and I had that same thought. I was like, well, let me go over there and see if there's different pre-rolls, different carts or whatever. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. I was underwhelmed by the product selection because, look, the mantra there seems to be like, we're putting on a show. We're putting on a show. And that part of the show didn't deliver to me. I mean, even the stuff that was there, they were out of. It's a big, huge cannabis conference. We were there for MJBiz. They were out of Wana gummies. I mean, it's the biggest gummy brand in that area. The CEO was speaking the next day at MJBiz, and they didn't have any. So I had to get a staff pick. And speaking of that, if I go right to that, Frank, I didn't care for the staff picks. I think said, well, we're out of Wana, but this is better anyway. Well, I got the bag of gummies that were supposed to be better than Wana. They weren't better. They weren't good.
No.
Just going to go there.
I didn't like them either. And it would make sense that those were pretty expensive gummies to be on the staff pick list, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think, I went in there, I got a little flour, I got a pre-roll, some edibles, and a cartridge. And, the pre-roll is a lot more than I'm used to paying. Was it good? It was okay. It was an all right bit of flour. It's way too expensive in my opinion. It's probably $8-9 overpriced. But hey, I guess you're in the Desert Rose, right? You're in Vegas. So you expect to pay a little bit more.
Yeah, you would expect that.
Yeah. So I take you right to that, Frank. As far as selecting the products, we both were a little underwhelmed there. When you got to get up to the register and you have that point of sale experience that we said we'd bring to the audience, what was your reaction there?
Well, like we said before, we spent 30 minutes picking out the products that we wanted to try out.
Yeah.
When we told the bud tender our picks, we were kind of met with, no.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. You're not going to want that. You're going to want something else. So we just wasted 30 minutes.
It seemed like that. It seemed like Frank and I couldn't get what we wanted. We were met with our bud tender in particular. I'm not, there was a ton of nice people on that staff there, top to bottom. Yep. Our bud tender was really bad. And to the point where you weren't even listening to us. And I wanted to say, there are a few people walking that floor that know dispensaries better than you and are used to dealing with dispensaries and vendors for dispensaries better than you. And I felt like you were talked down to a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, it didn't make me feel good about the buying experience. It didn't make me feel like I was purchasing the right product and that they were looking out for me.
Yeah.
In that current, it's maybe that bud tender was having a bad day, but seriously, if you're working in the point of sale, you have to make your customer feel good about the experience, especially if it's their first time. And I agree with Frank there. I always say if you crash and burn at the point of sale, man, that there's no salvaging that to me. No. So it shouldn't be any surprise where I'm going to go with my score here. So if we're going out of 10, Frank, I went with a 6.5 because I'm looking like this was like that's about it, man. It was they had weed, but other than that, I just wasn't impressed this time around. What about you? I think for me, I'm gonna go to 7.5.
7.5.
I'm a visual person. I still think it's the coolest place I've walked into in a long time.
Beautiful space.
And And we're in Vegas too, right? There's an experience there.
Yeah.
But it obviously could have been better. It's my first time too. Like, you've had a previous experience. Do you think that this one was lower than last time?
Lower than last time, for sure. The physical space in that room and the retail floor, it's expanded. It's gotten bigger. That new huge screen is all LED screens showing those incredible images, and it is something to see. It's a spectacle. You got to check it out, folks. That wasn't there yet. And there certainly weren't, 60 registers, 10 of which being used.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more merch, probably more merch than product that, from what I could see. But, yeah, it wasn't as good as the first time. And I don't know if that's just growing a little too big, or as, like you said, it's an off night. I don't want to trash anybody, but as an honest review, my honest review was this wasn't too great.
No. But we're looking forward to the next time when we're in Vegas again next year.
Yeah.
We're going to stop by again. It's like we're never going to go there again.
Yeah, we're going to stop by. We're going to stop by and we're going to visit other places. But we're going to be bringing our audience more honest reviews, aren't we? So in the new year, in 2023, we're going to have more honest reviews, places we go, things we eat, things we consume, right? Going to be doing some of that. And we're going to have more for you. So, look, this was just the first one. You got our scores from Planet 13. Frank, thanks so much. This was a fun, honest review.
Thank you, man. This was fun.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. If you're in Vegas, check out Planet 13. Tell us what you think. Get in touch with us. We'll see you next time from Delaware. Bye-bye, guys.